react the way everyone else does. That apparently a lot of people don't know what it looks like when somebody gets knocked out. I've seen it.
Yeah.
This wasn't, I didn't see this, and it was something much more shocking that, like, if Draymond started stomping this dude out while he was on the ground, I'd be like, that was much more than what I thought happened here. But I heard he punched him. I saw a punch. That's what it looked like in my head.
See, I feel differently than you do. I don't think this is a fight. This, to me, was a verbal altercation. Draymond then approaches Poole. He's the one that gets in Poole's space, and Poole pushes him away like, get away from me. What's Poole supposed to do? Just be dressed down by Draymond Green in front of the team? So Green approaches him and goes nose to nose, and Poole says, get away from me. I do not think that justifies in any way humanly possible. I'm not saying you're justifying it. I don't think that justifies the reaction from Draymond. I don't think that you throw a Superman punch at the guy because he pushed you, because you invaded his space, because you couldn't deal with trash talk.
It really was a Superman punch.
This is baby stuff. And as far as, he didn't stomp on the guy. He wanted to. And what was his intent? I said that yesterday. When people said, oh, was he knocked out? I don't care. What was his intent? Was his intent to thoroughly injure his teammate? Yes. Yes, it was. That was not a slap. It wasn't a pushback. It wasn't anything else you could have done.
Oh.
It was, I intend to hurt you.
Yeah, I don't think Draymond was even thinking in that
But
moment.
on top of that, I think Draymond, by watching the video, he was going to try to, as Chris said, finish him. He was going to hit him again. And if his teammates and some of the staff didn't get in his way, I think this would have been even uglier. And we have to judge off of the intent. We have to judge off of what this guy did. The other thing I hear is like, this happens all the time in pro basketball, man. Number one, it doesn't. Number two,
it
doesn't.
Uncommon.
It doesn't.
I'm not going to say all the time.
There's plenty
it's not uncommon.
It's not normal. It's not the normal activity. Dudes are not knocking teammates out on the norm. Okay? It's not happening. Why do we treat pro athletes in the athletic world different than any other career?
I'll tell you why.
If this happened in this studio right now.
Yeah, you can't compare.
And why not?
It's not the same.
Why not?
It's not the same.
Why not?
Because I'm not bodying you up in the paint.
Doesn't matter.
And fighting physically for
Doesn't
position.
matter.
Dude, tempers,
you know the lines.
Tempers flare.
Draymond Green is not a 20-year-old kid.
I understand.
He's not 18 years old.
I understand. But I'm not excusing violence. I'm just saying that's not the office. That's not any other average workplace.
What I'm saying to you is no matter what the workplace is, okay, if you punch somebody in the face, you get disciplined.
Sure.
Simple as that.
He's been disciplined.
He's been disciplined.
He's going to be suspended a couple of practices.
Yeah, to me that is nowhere near the level of discipline he should face.
Even if that's not the level of discipline he should face, that doesn't change today. Like whatever level of discipline you thought Draymond Green deserved yesterday,
I agree with you.
Is the same today.
And I thought he should get several regular season games. I thought he should have faced harsh discipline. I said it yesterday. I say it today, and I feel even more strongly after seeing not the punch, not just but the post punch. The fact that he was going to go in and he was
ready to scrap. No,
there's no scrap. A scrap is when two people are scrapping back and forth. He knocked the dude out cold, and then he was going to follow up and continue to punch him in the face. This was beyond.
I mean, you load up the second punch before you even know you knocked him out with the first.
This was beyond what happened. This is not a UFC fight, okay? This is his teammate. This is a professional atmosphere. It is a practice. It is trash talk, and it's funny. Draymond Green, who talks more than anybody on God's green earth, gets upset over trash talk because reportedly, Jordan Poole said, you're a triple single.
Called him a triple single.
That got Draymond Green to do what he did.
That's kind of funny.
So for Draymond Green, the guy who is always getting in everybody's face, right? Always the guy who's talking trash. And God forbid if you say something back to Green, he's going to cry and pout about it in the postgame. That's the guy who does what we saw him do on that video. That's the dude who couldn't take a little bit of trash talk.
I'm not saying what Draymond Green did was okay.
I know you're not, but I don't know how anybody could look at that and say, "Oh, suspend him from a couple of practices." What message is that going to send a veteran? Draymond Green probably be happy. Oh, I don't have to practice and I don't have to play in the preseason.
I think you also.
I appreciate you.
I think you also need to be in the building to see how Draymond is reacting and acting after this. Is he showing real remorse? How's Jordan Poole reacting and acting after this? Were they legitimately able to bury the hatchet? Like all this
stuff. It's a bad analogy, but
all this stuff matters.
When you shoot somebody, you go to jail. It doesn't matter how bad you feel after the fact.
But this isn't shooting somebody. That's what I just
said. I said it was a bad analogy, but it's the one that's on the top of my head. I'm not sitting here. I'll talk to you in 7 hours with a better analogy.
I'll give you a better analogy.
The idea is that this dude, he did what he did, and now you pay for your crime.
I'll give you a better analogy.
You did.
If me and my brother get into it, and my brother punches me, it's technically against
workplace.
It's technically against the law, but it stays behind closed doors.
It's not workplace.
And
it's not workplace.
I don't think you can compare professional sports to any other workplace.
I'm not saying the dude should be fired. I'm not saying this guy should be excommunicated from the NBA. What I'm saying is if he doesn't get punished for multiple regular season games, then it's a joke. It's a slap on the wrist.
I would say show me the precedent for that. For somebody punching somebody in practice.
Bobby Portis.
That's one. But Bobby Portis also concussed a guy and broke his jaw.
Bobby Portis also was charged twice by that same guy. That same guy, Mirotic, charged towards Portis not once but twice.
I know.
And Portis punched him when he was getting charged yet again.
I've defended Bobby for
8 games Portis got.
I don't think that was fair.
8 games. You told me that precedent. There's the precedent.
But that's 1 games. And that was a broken jaw and a concussion.
And that was done by the team. It doesn't matter what the injury is. It's the intent. You can, just like you said, you shouldn't change.
Matter.
No, you shouldn't change your mind because of the video. You shouldn't change your mind if the dude's jaw was broken or not. The intent was to hurt him. The intent was to injure that dude.
If you want to put it in...
Because Jordan Poole's jaw is stronger than Mirotic doesn't mean that Draymond Green should not face.
If you want to put it in the framework of the law, if there's a bar fight and somebody punches somebody and they hit their head on the ground and they're in a coma or something, you're going to get a much more serious charge than if you just land a punch and then everybody breaks it up. It's different. The results matter.
It's workplace. And the results to me... knocking a dude out cold and then going back after him, that to me is worth multiple games.